Hello, everyone. We just are about to start. I just want to wait a couple of minutes for other people to join us. Okay.
Hi, Jess.
Miss Kirsty, hello, you okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
I'll get my bits together 2 seconds. I'm going to turn
Yeah,
my camera off and I'll join you back in a sec.
fab.
Sorry about that. Rushing from one thing to another this morning.
It's fine. I'm just gonna give everyone a couple of minutes. We are expecting our acute medicine tutor, so
Okay.
I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes and wait for him to join us.
Have we got anyone joining from respiratory or gastro?
No, we are struggling to get those tutors on for this open day, but I have a presentation ready to go through
Fantastic.
the course summary and the module content and who it's for, so we'll be able to cover our bases today.
Great. Hello, if you're just joining us, we are just waiting for a couple more people to log in, and we will get started soon.
I've just emailed Abdul just to see if he's okay logging on. As we both know, Unibuddy can be a bit difficult to log on sometimes. So yeah, hopefully he'll be able to join us today.
Say hello in the chat and where you're from if you're here. It'd be nice to see where we've got people from today.
Hopefully not crickets.
Okay, it's only 3 minutes past 12, so
Yeah.
give people a little bit longer. Oh, morning, Emma in Wales, so not too far from us, I don't think.
Looking forward to the open day, so are we. So are we. Is there anyone else except for Emma from Wales?
Oh, Agina, hello.
Hey. There's a few people coming in now.
I'm going to see if I can pronounce that name, but I'm probably going to pronounce it really, really wrongly, so I am so sorry.
I'm not even going to attempt.
Ebtaj, maybe?
That is a good attempt.
That's probably butchering your name. I'm very sorry.
Let us know if Kirsty did get that right.
I don't think I did.
At graduation, when the person says the graduate.
I did it right. Fantastic.
Yeah, when they graduate and the person saying their name for them to come on stage, they're so good at getting people's names right. Oh my god.
I think they probably write them down phonetically.
True.
I mean, my name's Kirsty and people still call me Christy all the
Christy.
time. So even ones that aren't too difficult
Well,
get
with
messed
my
up.
last name being Morley, everyone just seems to get it wrong. They go, oh, Molly. And I'm like, no, Morley. And they go, oh, Marley. And I'm like, Molly. Didn't think it's that hard.
Yeah, my maiden name was the same. It was McCaig and McCraig and McCabe and McCake and McCade, and I just respond to anything that sounded remotely similar.
I remember.
Any word from our acute medicine tutor?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. No. I'll give it a couple of more minutes and then we will start then.
Yeah, we can always jump into admission stuff first, do the presentations and see if they're able to kind of join a little bit later if they've been held up. That is the issue when you're working with very busy doctors, is that especially acute medicine can get caught up doing something way more important and life-saving than being here today with us. And so they can get delayed, unfortunately. But fingers crossed he'll be able to join us and tell you all a little bit more about the acute programme.
Yeah. Just going to check my inbox 1 sec.
Acute medicine actually is one of our most popular courses, and I'm just looking at numbers now. We've got 34 places on the course and we've got 45 people accepted already. So if that is a course that you are interested in, I'd strongly suggest getting your application in as soon as you can if you haven't done it already, and as soon as you're accepted, which hopefully you would be, pay your deposit to secure a place in the course, because we're getting to the point now we've got more students accepted on the programme than we actually have spaces. So worth noting that. Gastroenterology is another very, very popular course. We've got 32 people accepted for 30 places on that. And respiratory, we've still got some spaces for respiratory, so that one's not quite so much. We've got 27 people accepted for just over 30 places, so it's close, but we're not kind of over yet. So any of these courses that we're talking about today, if you are looking to join us for them, then I strongly suggest that you get your application in and your deposit paid as soon as possible, because we are starting to run out of space, because we are now only 10 days or so away from the application deadline, which is on the 15th of August. 12 days. Okay, sorry, Jess. Sorry.
All right, I'm just looking at the countdown because I've been doing a lot
the countdown
emails. So yeah, the application deadline's fast approaching.
I know. I don't know where the time's gone.
I know. It doesn't look like he'd be able to join us right now because I haven't received any emails, but hopefully he is able to join us.
Perhaps if any of the team back in the office are watching and are able to send that tutor a quick message on LinkedIn, he might pick that up rather than might not be checking his emails. So perhaps we can do that quickly. And in the meantime, we can just get cracking with just the two of us for now, and we'll try and tell you everything we know.
Yeah, I'm just going to send the tutor's full name just so they don't get it wrong when they're looking him up. But yeah, we will get started. So I would like to give a quick introduction for all our courses today via a presentation. As we just said, we are struggling to get our courses on the live stream. Some might be able to join us, but nonetheless, I am more than happy to go through the courses in some detail. But we do have Kirsty with us to go through an admissions process with you all. We will then show a brief demonstration of our online learning platform, and we will then close to a Q&A where we will get the opportunity to answer some questions from you all, whether it's student services related, admissions related, or you have any course questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end. If you don't want
to go along as well, left on side, so feel free as you think of questions to drop them in. If we don't reply to you straight away there, we'll pick them up at the end anyway.
Yeah, and if you don't want to put your questions into the chat box, you can directly message us, which is a feature on the left-hand side of your screen. But yeah, if we don't get to answer if we don't get to answer some questions today, we'll definitely be able to email you afterwards. So we'll go to you, Kirsty. If we could go through the admission process, that would be brilliant.
Of course.
So my first question to you is, how does the application process work? Can you just talk us through from how they apply to what happens when students get accepted, just everything up until they get handed over to the student support team?
Yeah, of course. So once you've decided what program you want to study, that's the first thing. Then on our website, search for that course and go to the course page. For all of our courses, you can choose between, or for most of our courses, not all actually, you can choose between a postgraduate diploma, which is a 1-year course, or an MSc, which is a 2-year course, part-time, all online. If you're not sure if you want to commit to the 2-year course, you can apply for the postgrad diploma, the PG Dip, and then after the year you can decide to carry on and do your MSc. So once you've decided what program you want to do and how long you want to study for, whether it's the postgrad diploma or the MSc, on the product page there's a big pink apply now button. So you click on that and create an account. And at this point, it's worth saying that look through all of the criteria first and double check that you think you're gonna meet those, and also what we need in terms of evidence. It's good to get this together before you start your application so that you can just kind of do it all in one go. So usually that is your certification and proof of your undergraduate qualification. It'll be the names and email addresses of a couple of references. It might be your proof of English, so IELTS results, or perhaps you've done your undergraduate in the medium of English, in which case we just need proof of that. So all these little bits of kind of evidence and things we will need. So make sure you've got those together. And then your application should take about 20 to 30 minutes, probably more 30 minutes to complete. And then once you think you've got all the information that we need in there, hit submit, and then that will come through to the admissions team who will review your application. Should there be more information that we require, then we will contact you via email and let you know. And then once we've had everything we need, and if you're successful, you'll be accepted and you'll receive an acceptance letter via the email. And at that point, you can secure your place on the course by paying the initial deposit payment via your dashboard. If you do not pay that initial deposit payment, your place is not secured. So just having like an offer and acceptance letter doesn't mean that you've got your place secured. And of course, you must pay that initial deposit payment if you can.
Brilliant. So can we talk about the requirements in more detail?
Yeah,
So like
of course.
qualifications and experience. Just to go into some more detail about how some courses are different than others, and it's not just one.
Yeah, I think the 3 courses we're talking about today are actually similar because they're all very clinical. So for these courses, in order to be eligible, you'd need to hold either a medical degree or an undergraduate degree in a health-related science, and be either working within the field that you wish to study, or have some exposure to working with patients in that field. So you might not necessarily have a job in that field already, but you might have had exposure to that and have some experience. If you don't hold an undergraduate degree, but for example, hold a diploma in nursing and have the relevant clinical experience, then we'd encourage you to apply for the course. You may be set an assignment, which would be similar to the work that you can expect during the course. And that's just to check whether you've got that kind of level 7 abilities and you're comfortable with writing at that level. So yeah, it does depend on the course, but for most of our courses, they are quite clinical. So you do need to be a registered healthcare professional working within the area or with exposure to this area if you wish to study.
Brilliant. So I think that leads in nicely with my next question. So what kind of people might apply for these programs? I will be going into more detail about that in my presentation, but if you wanted to just briefly let everyone know, Kirsty.
Yeah, so for these programs, as I just said, you'll be a registered healthcare professional. So that could be a primary care physician, a GP, a doctor, a sometimes surgeon, a nurse practitioner, a physician's associate. There's quite a lot of different, obviously different healthcare roles involved, but you will be some kind of registered healthcare professional for all of these programs. But as you said, you've got a little bit more detail on a program by program basis to give more examples of that.
Definitely, but thank you for that overview. So going back to English, can you explain the IELTS how do you say it? I say
IELTS.
IELTS.
IELTS, yeah.
IELTS. If someone doesn't have it, what can they take instead?
Yeah, so we do understand that the pandemic's made it really difficult for people who want to get the IELTS qualification because booking onto the exams and stuff has been delayed. If you have IELTS, we need usually level 6 as a minimum in all the areas. If you don't have IELTS, all of the courses that we're talking about today are University of South Wales courses, and they accept Duolingo.
Yeah.
And so please let us know if you want some help with that. We can guide and advise you, but there are other options than just IELTS. Also, if you've done your undergraduate degree in the medium of English, then proof of that is also acceptable. But any questions on that, just email us admissions@learner.ac.uk, and we can kind of go through what you've got and let you know what will be accepted and what won't.
Excellent. And we will be putting the admissions email in the chat box very soon, so you have, so you can email us. So what about references? I know you briefly touched on this earlier, but how long does it have to be, and how does it work with references?
Yeah, so we ask the students to provide us with 2 names and email addresses of references. This could be someone you've worked with, a manager, an employer, a former tutor, a colleague. And really all they need to do is just confirm that they know you and they think that you're capable of undertaking the course. So they don't have to, they just fill in a very quick form and it won't take a huge amount of time. We will chase them for you. So we'll get in touch with them on your behalf and chase the references. So you don't need to do that either. You just need to let them know that we're going to be in contact. We actually only require 1 for most courses, but we ask for 2 because this can be the area where your application gets held up if your referees don't get back to us very speedily. So by having 2, it just makes things a little bit quicker.
Yeah, okay. And then personal statements. So how long should that be? What do they need to talk about?
So yeah, there's no right or wrong when it comes to a personal statement. I mean, it's very personal. So we're looking for someone to write between 5,000 words up to a maximum of 3,000 words. And really your personal statement is an insight into the work that you do currently. And also what your motivations are for applying for the course. So talk about what you're hoping to gain from the course. Are you looking to start specialist training? Are you applying for a promotion that requires a qualification? Do you just want to expand on your knowledge? Give us your current situation and why you want to apply for the course within your personal statement. It's just so that we can kind of get to know you a little bit better and check that you're going to get what you want out of the program.
Yeah, okay. And if someone isn't sure, what would you say to those? Should they still apply?
Yeah, so we understand that undertaking a postgraduate qualification is a big commitment, not only with your time, but also with your finances. So if you're really not sure, what we'd suggest is you schedule a call with the admissions team, and we'll be able to go through your concerns and help you decide whether the course is right for the path that you wish to take and at this time in your life. Our courses are extremely flexible. So we're going to go into it a little bit later in more detail, but there are no fixed lectures, there are no fixed seminars, there's no set time when you need to study. You can study on the course whenever, wherever you can, but we do advise that people log in at least most days and spend sort of an hour to 2 hours a day on the program. So it's not a small undertaking. And because of this, you really need to be sure that this is something that you can commit to. But our student support team are there to help you all the way. And as I say, we know that healthcare professionals are very busy. We do everything we can to make sure that you can work our course around your other commitments. So it's not like having to go to a campus and take hours out of your day several times a week. It's all completely online and it can be done around your other commitments, but you do need the dedication to do it.
Yeah, definitely. That's excellent. Thank you. And then what happens after the application they've completed the application?
Yep. So once you've completed your application, as I say, that will come through to us here in admissions. We'll review the application, and at that point, we'll decide if you have been accepted onto the course or not. And you'll be able to secure your course, as I said, by paying. If you've been accepted, you'll be able to secure your place by paying a deposit payment on the application deadline. And all the information on how to do that will come through with your acceptance letter on email. Some people are rejected. And if you are rejected, you'll receive a detailed email explaining why this has been the case.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Kirsty. It was really helpful. Obviously, our tutor, the acute medicine tutor, hasn't been able to join us right now. So I'm more than happy to go through a presentation. So I'm just going to get it up and share my screen with you all. Can you just let me know, Kirsty, if it
Yeah,
is?
of course.
As it can be pretty funny sometimes. Okay.
Let's see. So start.
Brilliant. It's just loading. Okay, brilliant. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of our acute medicine, respiratory and gastroenterology courses. So first up, for acute medicine, this distance learning programme is validated by the University of South Wales, a modern and industry-focused university rated best in the UK. It's designed to improve clinical knowledge of healthcare professionals who assist in assessing, diagnosing and treating patients with urgent medical needs. All knowledge gained from this course is compulsory for the rapidly evolving specialty that functions as the bedrock for hospital-based and emergency medicine. So overall, students will gain a systematic understanding of acute medicine, skills in critical appraisal and application of knowledge for direct patient benefit. In addition to this, students will benefit from being taught by carefully selected top industry educators, lifelong learning and advanced problem-solving skills that they can apply to clinical practice in acute and emergency medicine. So the module titles for Module 1, Respiratory and Cardiovascular Emergencies. Module 2, Diabetes and Endocrine Emergencies. Module 3 is Gastroenterological Emergencies. Module 4 is Acute Presentations with Infection and Sepsis. Module 5 is Acute Neurological Disorders and Stroke. And then Module 6 is Acute Renal, Metabolic and Toxicological Emergencies. That was hard to say for me. So for gastroenterology, this distance learning programme is also validated by the University of South Wales. The courses are designed to facilitate a better understanding of common gastroenterological disorders typically found in the community. So students will be better equipped to read and interpret endoscopy reports, and increasingly important element of practice. So please note that this is not a course that will assess or develop endoscopic procedures, as this is not the focus, nor would it be possible to achieve without residential training and supervision. So on completion of this course, students... Oh, I've clicked. My bad. Let's go back. I don't know what's happened there. I'm going to have to exit out. Sorry, it's just gone a bit funny now. Let's go back.
Getting too excited. Yes.
My mouse is going crazy then. Sorry about that, everyone. So yeah, on completion of the course, students who enroll and complete the course will benefit from articulate professional decisions, incorporating evidence-based rationale in variety of diverse and complex situations related to gastroenterology. You will demonstrate the critical application of gastroenterology research to clinical practice, and you'll be able to apply lifelong learning and advanced problem-solving skills to clinical practice and much, much more. So with the module titles, oh gosh, Kirsty, are you going to be able to help me with this?
Yeah, so module 1 is the module 2.
Esophagus, that's it. And then module 2, stomach. Module 3 is pancreas. Module 4 is liver. Module 5, small bowel and nutrition. Module 6 is colon. And then for the respiratory overview, this flexible online postgraduate diploma in respiratory medicine has been developed by taking note of the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence guidance on respiratory medicine, the curriculum subjects of the specialty certificate exam of the Royal College of Physicians and that of the Royal College of General Practitioners, with an emphasis on the management of these conditions in both primary and secondary care in the UK and abroad. Our course will enable more healthcare professionals to have the required knowledge to treat patients. You will be able to learn around your schedule and develop problem solving and clinical skills, connect with your peers around the world and discuss ideas and develop and understand, prepare you for a leadership role in respiratory medicine. This is an increasingly important field as respiratory disease is a growing cause for morbidity and mortality. And then the module titles. So module 1 is symptoms, signs and investigations. Module 2 is asthma and allergy. Module 3 is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And module 4 is
thoracic oncology and pleural disease.
Thank you very much. I'm really struggling with these titles today and some of the words. Module 5, respiratory infections, diagnosis and management. Module 6, wider respiratory horizon. And then MSc modules. So our MSc modules are designed to help you recognise, understand, interpret and apply methods used in healthcare research and critically appraise the various methodologies specific to, it says acute medicine here, but the course research. So on module 7, you will be able to select and apply different methodological perspectives and tools to answer research questions in your chosen course and critically analyse and interpret research as well. Module 8, the module aims to develop your ability to critically appraise specific areas of clinical research and or organisational practice and develop skills in independent research, study and writing for publications. And that's for all 3 of the courses we are talking about today. So just to go through like who the courses are applied for. So applicants will typically be registered healthcare professionals who have a day-to-day exposure to acutely ill patients who are looking for a postgraduate diploma in emergency medicine or similar discipline, and that consists of doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, pharmacists, and radiographers. And then for respiratory, it's designed. What? Sorry, hello. Radiographers. Did I say that right? I don't know.
Not quite. That's okay.
Okay, apologies. And so, yeah, for respiratory, it would be doctors, GPs, allied health professionals, nurses, and those with related undergraduate degrees, so pharmacists or equivalent professional qualifications and experience. So for gastroenterology, applicants who would be looking to take up this course would be, again, doctors, nurses, physicians, and GPs. As we have mentioned at the start, our application deadline is the 15th of August. So we'd like to inform you that we have received a lot of interest for these courses and spaces are already filling up very fast. So the application deadline is just less than 2 weeks away. So anyone who is wishing to enrol for the course, for these courses, they must complete their application and pay prior to the date to secure their place. Most of our courses are accredited by the European Union of Medical Specialists. When you complete your studies with us, you will gain a recognised medical qualification in just 1 year, which is twice as quick than most postgraduate courses. And as we mentioned before, these courses are validated by the University of South Wales, but our programmes are validated by Gibraltar and the University of Buckingham, which hold a GMC accreditation. Thank you for listening to that presentation today.
Thanks, Jess. There were some tricky medical words in there for you.
It was hard when you're not exposed to those words,
those terms. Yeah,
it's hard to say. So please forgive me.
Emma's asked a really good question in the chat, and I wanted to kind of
Okay.
answer that to everybody. How do the courses work if there's no lectures? Will I need to take any time off work to complete the course? So how the courses work are they are self-directed learning. So what that means is that you will not have any classes where you'll sit and listen to someone like we are now, spoon feeding you information, which you then retain and let it out in an exam format or an assessment. All of our learning for the postgrad diplomas takes place on an academic forum. On this forum, your tutor for each module, your tutor will post a scenario. So it's a case-based scenario. And then everyone in the class will read that scenario, go away, do some research, have a think about how they'd approach it, and then formulate their response that they'll post in the academic forum. You're able to comment on other people's posts, you're able to have a discussion, and what this enables is a real multidisciplinary approach to the cases. So you'll get different perspectives from people who work in different elements of healthcare, and also because we're very international, you'll get the different perspectives of people globally who will be exposed to totally different healthcare systems and scenarios than, say, somebody in the UK might be. So you're really getting to learn from not only yourself and the self-directed learning, but also from your peers. I can see Pedro's just put how much one-to-one time do students get with tutors. So your tutors, there's on the Moodle platform, which you'll see shortly in a demonstration we're going to give, there is a button to directly message your tutors there. So you can message them directly and get that one-to-one support if you need. And we also have a dedicated student support team, and they're there to help as well. So if you're having any issues or any problems, they're there to help and support you. So there's lots of levels of support. You're not kind of just dropped in the deep end and expected to swim yourself. Oh, there's lots of questions coming through. Shall I just carry on and answer these whilst I'm in my flow, Jess, rather than wait till the end? Emma, you've said you like the sound of the learning style, but it's different to traditional learning. Yes, it is very different to traditional learning. Will I be supported whilst getting used to it? As I said, we're not going to drop you in the deep end. Before our module 1 starts, you have the opportunity to take part in our study skills week. And someone from student support can outline exactly what that goes through. But essentially, study skills will teach you all about how to use the Moodle online learning platform, how to respond to the case scenarios. It will also teach you about our resources, our library, best practice with academic writing, and how to avoid any kind of academic misconduct, so plagiarism and things like that. So we'll really kind of ease you in gently and get you nice and used to Moodle before you have to start doing the course. And once you do start, there's lots of support on hand. If you have any problems or issues whatsoever, then there's someone here to help, especially in your first few weeks of starting the course. But what you'll find is you'll get used to it really, really easily. And people might find it a little bit weird and a bit of a shock to start off with. But most of our students absolutely love learning in this way, and that's a testament to the fact that our student satisfaction scores are extremely high. And also we have students that return to do other programs with us and carry on to do their MSc once they finish their PG dip, because they just love it so much. So yeah, we're very proud of our online learning platform, and it does enable us to provide truly flexible programs.
Perfectly said.
What else have we got in there?
Answering the questions
Yeah.
in. Is there anything?
There's someone about how's acute medicine assessed and what's the final project about. So I don't know if you're talking about the postgrad diploma or the MSc here, Algina. Again, student services, I think, will respond with the full breakdown for that. But essentially, your assessment it takes 4 parts. So you'll be assessed on your contribution to the academic forum. Another big thing that I forgot to mention is our reflective practice. essentially you will be encouraged throughout the program to reflect on your learning and how that's impacting you in your day-to-day practice via a reflective journal, and you will be marked on your reflective journal as well, and that's a really big part in how to kind of implement our courses into your day-to-day practice, and so it's not just theoretical learning, you're kind of putting that into practice every day and reflecting on that. You will have an assignment, which can be a group assignment. It could be a poster. It really depends on the module that you're undertaking, and also an exam for some modules, not for all. So there are various ways of assessment, and Safe Student Support can outline that a little bit more for you. If you do progress to the MSc, then your professional project is a research project, which is guided by a tutor who's a skilled research tutor who will take you through that professional project and support you. Many of our students' professional research projects actually get published, which is fantastic. And if you look on the Diploma MSc website, under the published papers tab there, you'll be able to see a load of the professional projects that have been published by our students, and I'm sure someone will drop the link to that in the chat, so you can have a look easily. But yeah, it's your opportunity to get published and get recognised, and as I say, you will still get supported, but that is very much an independent professional project, and after that you'll gain your MSc.
That's brilliant. Yeah, and I can see student services have replied to Algina going into more detail.
Thank you.
And stuff. So I am about to play the video demonstration now. If we have answered some of those questions, Kirsty, we have.
Yeah, I think that's most of them that were there sitting, waiting, answered. So I think they kind of give you a good framework before we do the presentation. So yeah, I'll mute myself so I can't hear it echoing.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, so we will play this video demonstration of our learning platform. In the video, you will hear Ben, one of our colleagues from the Student Services team, showing you what our platform looks like, how you'll find tasks, reflective journals and discussion boards, and much more. I will just share my screen with you all 1 second. Okay, hopefully this is sharing. Is it sharing, Kirsty? If you could just unmute and tell me.
Yeah, it's sharing.
Thank you. Okay, I'm about to play now.
Welcome to our open day at Learner. My name is Benjamin from Student Services. In this short video, I'll be showing you a brief introduction to the learning platform Moodle, where all of your studies as a student at Learner will take place. When you start the application process with us at Learner, you will be provided with your login details to access Moodle, the learning platform. The login process is simple and straightforward. Press the blue Learner login button here, and then simply enter your username and your password into the text box and click the login button. Once you've logged in, it will take you to your dashboard. This is the easy to navigate homepage where you can access your modules and all of the supporting resources needed to aid you in your studies with us at Learner. For today's introduction, you can see Cosmetic Medicine Module 4. To access the module, press the Explore button seen here. Please be assured that the Moodle platform is interchangeable with all of the programs that we offer here at Learner. So please do not worry if you are not studying this particular program, yours will look the same. As you can see, each week has its own individual section. For the topic of today's introduction, I'll be showing you week 1 and how to access the academic forum. You can access the academic forum, which is the weekly equivalent of an in-person seminar in forum form, by clicking here. As you can see, There is an example post of a welcome post here, as well as an example on how your case scenario post from your tutor would look on the platform. Once the tutor has posted the case scenario, you are then able to respond with your research and interesting discussion points via this direct thread. Each module will be in an individual section, such as the Study Skills Orientation module, where you will access a range of introductory guides and videos that will discuss the platform in greater detail. The Instructions and Resources section, where you can access the marking criteria and easy to follow guides for each component of your module. And the Learner Library, where you can access your reading resources, academic search engine, and partner university information. This is the Learner Library, where you can access a wide range of resources that will aid you throughout your studies with us at Learner, such as your reading resources, a selection of academic search engines, such as Google Scholar, and further useful resources such as Mendeley, an external, free-to-use reference managing system. As you can see via the drop-downs, there are guides to literature searching, a guide to referencing, and a guide to poor academic practice and plagiarism. Furthermore, if you scroll down slightly, there are a range of open access ebooks that you can use to aid you with your studies. Further down the page of the Learner Library, within the Bibliographic Resources section, you are able to find academic search engines such as Academic, BMC, and Cochrane Library, and many more, which are there to be utilized and assist in finding the most suitable sources for your research. If you scroll further down the page, you can find the Useful Resources section. We recommend that you take full advantage of these, such as Mendeley and Grammarly, which become very useful in your studies. At the bottom of the page, you can find your reading resources. When you begin your program, you'll have access to these resources for your respective program and find all the relevant materials and reading resources for that particular week and for that particular module. Though our platform is designed to be extremely easy to navigate, onboarding onto a new online platform can be overwhelming. In each section of the platform, you can find direct links to contact the Student Services team, who can answer any queries or questions that you have throughout the entirety of your studies with us at Learner. We hope you have found this short introduction helpful to your application, and we hope to be onboarding you as a student with us at Learner very soon.
Okay. Sharing. Were you able to hear that okay, Kirsty, or have I froze? My screen has frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen. I can hear you, but you've frozen in a very flattering pose.
Yeah, I'm going to stop that. And hopefully when I click it, it will come back on my face. Like that.
There we go. There we go. You're moving again.
Guys. Yeah, so hopefully you found that demonstration very helpful. As I mentioned before, we have got student services in the chat box to answer any questions that you have. We are at a close. I do hope you've enjoyed this open day. If the tutors happen to come on now, that would be brilliant, but I don't think that they will be able to join us.
Yeah, I think they've obviously been caught up, unfortunately.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, myself and Kirsty would be more than happy to go through them now, because we would like to go to a Q&A before we officially close. So if you have any questions.
Algina's asked, do I need to take time off work to do the PG dip in acute medicine? I think we've kind of covered this quite thoroughly already. No, you can study the course in your own time, wherever you are, whatever time you can. So, if you've got half an hour when you're on the train commuting into work and you want to kind of go and have a look at the new scenario, and then have a little bit of think about that, that's kind of little and often is what we'd suggest. Is so you can do it first thing in the morning when the kids are in bed, you've got a cup of coffee, or weekends, evenings, lunch breaks, whenever you can fit it in really around your other commitments, but you do not need to take any time off work for study.
Pedro has asked, how will I get my certificate? And is learner mentioned on the certificate?
It's not actually. The certificate comes directly from the university who's awarding the qualification. So that would be University of South Wales for our acute respiratory and gastro programs. And that would look like any other postgrad diploma or master's degree that anyone else in that university is receiving. So it won't say anything about learner or about it being online. Your transcript would mention that it was a distance learning course, and so you should always check with your local health body or governing body as to whether that will be recognised or not before you actually start on the course, because that does vary from country to country.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kirsty, for answering those questions. Has anyone got any other questions for us today?
No, I think we might be done.
We might be. Give it a couple of seconds just in case. Yeah, I think we are done. I don't think anyone has any other questions for us today, which is fine. If you do have questions for us afterwards, as I said, we will be sending you an email and we'll be attaching this open day video. So you'll be able to watch the learning platform and you can hear us answering some of the questions. And if you want to if you have any questions for admissions, we'll be more than happy to pass you on to them as well.
Yeah, we can also pass on any questions that are very specific about the programme and its content to the tutors or programme lead. We are very sorry that they weren't able to join us here today. We hope we've given you a good overview. But if you have anything specific that you were hoping that they might be able to answer, then please do just email them over to us and we will get back to you on those.
Yeah, thanks for adding that, Kirsty. But yeah, thank you everyone who's attended. We hope you found this beneficial and we'll be emailing you very soon. So thank you for attending.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Good luck,
Jess.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.